So hey, this is Thea Daniels with R.A.W.Vlogcast, where I talk with people who are real, authentic, and willing to share their passion. I am so lucky today. I get to talk with Kurt CROWBAR.
Kangas.
Kangas. Ooh, don't forget that part.
Yeah, the nickname is CROWBAR.
Okay, Kurt Kangas. The nickname is CROWBAR. And this gentleman, he is right now running in charge, promoting, taking care of Artista.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, so you were starting to tell me a little bit about, well, tell me how it got started and your part of being involved.
Well, Artista, well, what is Artista?
Mm-hmm.
It's in Spanish, it means artists, a group of artists. That's what we're going to refer to.
Okay.
But the club started actually with a group called the Concrete Foundation of the Fine Arts. Did you read about all that?
I did read about that,
And
yes.
the Peanut Gallery, and all the artists that were involved then were basically the poster artists of the 60s.
And did it have anything to do with Schultz Peanut Gallery?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No, they just called it a peanut gallery.
Peanut
Bunch of nuts that hung out and just shared their art talent together. And the dragon was created just as a piece of art in the original poster. Mm-hmm. And the guy said, hey, why don't we take that dragon and elaborate on it? So they did.
So it started with just the dragon. It wasn't coming out of the paint tube yet?
No, it was just a dragon wrapped around the base of a cement slab, and with a Buddha on it. You saw the picture, right?
I saw the one with the paint tube.
No, but on my website, I have a picture of the original poster that was done with a Buddha, a gold Buddha sitting on a pedestal.
You know what? I didn't realize that.
And
that
the
was
dragon was wrapped around the base.
See, that's why we do these things, because I didn't catch that.
Okay, so then they elaborated on it and made it coming out of a paint tube, mm-hmm. the dragon. And Kelly had the smart idea of let's turn it into a gang. So, boy, what can I say about that? Okay.
Gangs have no rules.
Well, that's our rule, is no rules. But it was loosely based after an organization called the E-Clampus-Vitus. Are you familiar with clampers?
I'm not.
The Clamper Society started in 1848, and they started in Placerville. And why they started is because all these societies began to move in there. The Lions Club and the Elks Club and the Shriners. They moved into Placerville.
Clubs. Okay.
But they only accepted the wealthy and the bankers, mm-hmm. right? And they didn't accept the common man. So this guy rose up and he said, fuck that, I'm going to start another group called E-Clampus-Vitus. And of course it's named after King Vitus, who had epilepsy.
Okay.
And they called him the Dancing King because he had epilepsy.
Okay.
So forget why they called it Vitus, forget the name period, but they started a society called E-Clampus-Vitus.
Okay.
And all the poor people joined it. Now I'm going to come to a point in a minute, which you'll understand and you'll finally get. Our saying in the Artista is no rules.
Right.
The Clamper saying is no cure. Our colors are red and black. The Clamper colors are red and black. Mm-hmm. What the Clampers did is they threw parties and raised money and secretly supported the widows and the orphans of the Placerville and the Gold Country. Artista does the same thing. So we're basically loosely knitted to the original Clampers. They call them Clampers.
Okay.
And
you're doing good things.
So what we do is we raise money and we give them to people who who need help, mostly within our clan. Mm-hmm. So back to the origins of Artista. It started off with a loosely knitted and tongue-in-cheek and it's like, let's throw a party. So we started having parties.
Do your art, listen to music.
And then sell the jackets. Okay, all that through the 80s. And at that time, everybody joined. Father Guido Sarducci joined, Santana, Howard Hessman, all types of movie stars, all Ken Kesey.
All the artists.
All the artists and all the goofballs and the merry pranksters. They all joined Artista. I mean, there was an influx. Within the first 5 years, we probably gained 500 members into the club. And so about 1985, Kelly got tired of putting on the shows and he kind of bowed out. And at that time is when I kind of gathered a group of people together and said, hey, you want to continue? So we started throwing our parties. My first party I threw within the Artista was at the Carlos and Pancho's in Mill Valley. And we had the dinosaurs play. Do you remember who they were?
I saw a poster.
Yeah.
With the dinosaurs.
Okay, that's basically one member of all the bands. One member for Quicksilver, one member from The Dead, one member from Big Brother and the Holding Company.
Just all jamming.
They were all dinosaurs
Okay.
that were left over from, yeah. So they formed a band called the Dinosaurs, and they became our house band for a while. And so we had a good time just throwing parties. But back then we were young and stupid, and we did a lot of drugs, and a lot of alcohol.
Had fun.
And we had fun, and we had not so much fun. It just kind of fell apart.
Oh.
So you wanted to know how I got involved. Right. Is that basically the last party I threw was with the Freaky Executives and Tommy Two-Tone and all those old names, if you remember.
I do.
Jenny. And then I moved. Artista was over, I moved, went to Hawaii. When I came back from Hawaii in 2001, I approached Alton Kelly and I asked him if he wanted to start up the gang again. And because a lot of people were kind of like wondering where everybody was. So I said, would you like to start the gang again? And Kelly went, no, it's dead. Leave it alone, let it die. So I left it there until Kelly died. Kelly died in about 2005. In about 2006, I approached Pat Ryan and I said, would you like to start the gang again? And he said, yeah.
Awesome.
As long as I ran it and I took control of it.
Meaning
and
you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he said, he told me that as long as I run it. And so I promised him that I would continue it and do it right and bring it alive. And so we had our first party in about 2006 and a membership party. And I went ahead and I had a considerable amount of money. I was wealthy a couple times. Scratch that. Tax man. So I took my money and I went and bought about 100 jackets and pre-bought. That cost a pretty penny. And then we had a big party and we started gaining members. And what can I say? I mean, I've been doing it every year for the last 15 years. However long, 15, almost 20 years, coming on 20 years. Yeah, so.
How did COVID affect it? Are you coming back out of COVID?
Well, yeah, we kind of ended everything.
Yeah.
We ended our parties, and so people were really starving to get together again.
Yes.
So I did last March. I had a party. Were you there?
No, it was when I first actually started hearing about you.
Ah.
And you guys had it down at the block.
Yeah.
In Petaluma.
Yeah. Now
it's on my calendar.
The fun thing about
August.
it's September.
September. Okay.
Okay. The fun thing about Artista is it's very unique. It's a secret society. We call it a secret society. It's all tongue in cheek, but it's turned into that, and we are still here. Now, about 3 groups tried to start up their clubs. One's called the Art Boys out of L.A. They saw what we were doing, and they said, well, we could do it. So they went and had jackets made and started creating membership. It fizzled out. We've been duplicated or copied, should I say copied.
They say something about the greatest form of flattery is copying, but it takes an original.
Yeah, and then none of them can get off the ground. See, we're well off the ground. And we have members all over the world. They come in Germany and France and England and Ireland and South America, Mexico,
Wow.
Canada. We have members everywhere.
Now, do all the members have these really cool jackets?
Yeah, that's how you get into the club.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so not just anybody can get into this club.
Not just anybody. We're a secret society, and we don't spread the word around. But I'll tell you what, once you put the word out there and you tell people this is a private event, invite only, a lot of strangers out there look at it and go, I don't know if I want to go to that. It's kind of, I don't know anybody. And so we kind of keep out the riffraff.
I was going to say that. See, I want to know what's going on.
Yeah,
Those
but then
are the
when you
ones wanna
go
bring
and
in.
nobody's talking to you and everybody's wearing the jacket, you feel kind of like, what is this? Where am I? So anyhow, okay, what else you want to know?
So with the secret society, how is it that I can celebrate this and you and what you've done with it so far and what are you doing with it?
Well, how you celebrate it is by coming to the parties and get to know other Artista members.
Okay.
And I'm sure we've had several marriages through Artista, and I know we've had a lot of divorces through Artista.
But there's a few kids in there somewhere too.
Yeah. No, I'm just tongue in cheek. I'm trying to put a comedy factor to it as well.
You're doing a great job.
And,
Kids are total comedy.
Well, yeah. The fact that we're a secret society is like the only thing that keeps it a secret is that it's among our friends. The word gets around among our friends. Now, before we had to collect email addresses, or no, not even email. Physical addresses.
Snail mail.
And so we would create about maybe 500 postcards, and we'd stamp them all. We'd pay for all of it, and they were our invites. We would send those out, and out of 500, about 300 of them would come back, because hippies don't stay in one place too long. So that kind of like word of mouth, And then when the internet came in, we had emails, and now I use Facebook as my contact source. And see, I would love to give up Facebook, but I can't, because it's the only way that I can, it keeps me connected. So.
And with that, how is it that we can keep up with what's going on for all those secret members and not members that word of mouth might get to?
Well, we check out pretty much who comes in.
Okay.
And we don't have a problem. And we're not alcoholics anymore, and we're not drug addicts anymore. So if somebody comes in and gets rowdy, we just escort them out. Nicely, but we have our big boys if we need them.
And still no rules.
But there are no
Have
rules.
fun.
Yeah. And we haven't had any problems. I think at one time the neighbors heard our party and came over with their gang of kids and got drunk and got a little wild, and we just surrounded them with love and said the door is that way. And nobody wants to fuck with us, because the jackets. I mean, I've walked into biker bars and people stepped aside because they didn't know who we were, but they saw this jacket with a dragon on it, and they're figuring that we're Bruce Lee's, or we're some badass karate Oriental.
You're just
just
badass artist.
Yeah.
Watch out.
I've never had any problem with the bikers, just nothing but respect.
Yeah,
So.
you guys have created something pretty fabulous.
It's been a joke, and I'm going to continue on as long as I can. It's I don't know how much is left in me now. I'm 75, and I've only got so many years left.
Any prospects of anybody that keep this thing going?
No, I don't. From what I see, there's nobody that can run it like I do, and you know, just between you and me, every time I put out a news blast, I don't sign my name to it. I put, "We love you from the family of Artista." So really, a great many, I would say maybe 75% of Artista people that come don't even know that it's my show. They think that I make it sound like there's a whole production with a president, vice president, secretary. They think we have all the factions of a corporation, and we don't. It's all me.
Non-profit, though, right?
Pardon me?
Non-profit.
Yeah, we're non-profit.
Right.
Yeah. That's why I sell the jackets for just a little bit for what I pay for them. You know, like the jackets coming in cost $97, but by the time the shipping and the handling, I got to sell them for $125. So we're not into it for making money. We're into it for making members.
And community.
Yeah.
Community of artists.
And a lot of people can't afford it. You know, people are pretty poor these days, and that's not the point. Anyhow.
No, it's about community, not the point of...
Yeah, and I do fine by myself. I don't need to make money, so I trust me. You know, and there's a lot of people I don't trust because I think they'll look at it as an opportunity to put some extra cash in their pocket. So we take money at the door. We charge $25. And if you get
great party.
And if you get 300 people there, you know, then do the math. We make a good chunk of money, and sometimes anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000.
And created a good chunk of time. Fun time.
And usually somebody always has needs. I remember we supported Judge Murphy when he had cancer. He couldn't provide a living for his family, so we gave him several $1,000s a couple times. And that's just how we do it. You've heard of Harvey Mandel?
Oh, yeah.
The guitar player?
Yeah.
Yeah, he lost his nose to cancer.
Yes.
So we poured in about $6,000 to his pocket, you know, to help support him during those hard times.
So good people doing good things.
Yeah.
The basic foundation, no rules, having fun, artists getting together.
Yeah, and we do it secretly. See, that's what the clampers did, is they snuck under the table and they'd hand you a bundle of money, and they weren't the type of people that wave it up in the air and go, "Hey, everybody, I'm giving money." You know, it's nobody's business, and so we keep it that way. Oh, I'm getting taken. So,
is there a way that people that maybe want to buy a jacket and become a member can
you usually talk to me, yeah.
Okay, so you talk to this guy, straight up.
So either that or else another member will come to me and they'll say, "Hey, a friend of mine who I know and trust and love wants to be part of it." And I'll welcome them in. Okay. And there's one thing, you know, that you have to do, a couple things you have to do. You got to take your picture, you got to fill out a form and put all your information in there. And then in your gang name, you have to have a gang name. Okay. Have you figured one out yet?
No, but my name. I'll think about that by the time the jacket comes
You got to have
in.
one to have your gang name.
Okay.
Because then you got to have your gang name embroidered on your jacket.
Oh my gosh, okay. It's exciting. I'm going to be a member in case you haven't figured it out.
So, and then you have to take the up against the wall motherfucker shot.
Okay.
Okay, now that started, we started off with when the jackets first came in, when they were first ordered.
With it in the back.
Okay, when they were first ordered, there was about 8 jackets.
Right.
And so all the members, the original characters, got their jackets and they went out in the backyard in Fairfax, that ballpark back there. And they all had their front shot, and then they all got up against the wall.
The backs against, yes, I saw
up
that
against
picture.
the wall,
Yes.
motherfucker.
Okay.
Okay, so a funny joke, though, is one day these 2 people joined the club in San Francisco, and I just gave them their jacket, and we went outside, and I said, "Okay, up against the wall." And these guys got up against the wall with their legs spread, and a cop drove by. And I'm sitting there about ready to take a picture, and the cop drives by, and he immediately speeds around the block and comes back and jumps out of his car. He thought I was strong-arming these guys.
Oh.
So we had to explain to him what we're doing. But that was pretty comical.
Police.
Anyhow, And so what you do is you get that shot, the back shot, the front shot, you send it to me with your nickname, then I present you before the club, and usually you get anywhere from 2 to 3 to 4, 500 people responding, welcoming you to the club, and you hope nobody's in there going, "What? That bitch? Boy, she did me wrong. Don't even let her be in."
Oh man,
Yeah.
I'm excited. Okay, so reach out to him, Facebook, Artista.
Yeah. You can go to artistagang.com and see the whole story.
Okay.
And you won't see too much of me because
your picture's not there.
my pictures are in the pictures, but they're not, I try to keep out of the limelight. It's not about me. It's about the Artista gang.
And you're just keeping it going.
Yeah, I'm keeping it going. Lately I've been signing things. I've been putting my signature on the bottom because, like I say, when I throw a party, I'll walk into a group of people and they won't have a clue who I am. As soon as see, that's another thing. My name is Kurt, and Kurt's like Clark Kent. He's the quiet, homebody. Got the glasses on. But then there's this entity called CROWBAR. And the CROWBAR is world famous. But Kurt's, just keep him.
Low-key guy.
Yeah, low-key guy. And CROWBAR is the name that has gone out there. So I'll be with people and I'll introduce myself as Kurt. And they'll treat me like a stranger. And then somebody will come by and go, "Hey, CROWBAR." And then they'll look at me and go, "Holy shit, you're CROWBAR?" And it's like, well, yeah.
Just keeping things going.
Just keeping things going, yeah.
Oh, thank you for keeping things going with the Artista since the 80s and before. Where it was married with the, what was the group name?
You mean the Clampers.
The Clampers.
Yeah. Now, if you go up to any gold mining town,
okay,
on the foothills, and look at the Heritage House, or a 150-year-old bar, just look at them and check it out. Almost all of them have a little plaque that's put on the side there, and it says donated and acknowledged by E. Clampus Vitus.
Okay.
And you've heard about the copper plates of Sir Francis Drake that were found, and they were found buried in Point Reyes?
No.
They were found, 50 years ago or 30 years ago, buried in the ground, all rusted and corroded, and it became big news. National Geographic, they did TV specials, TV shows that Sir Francis Drake claimed California for Spain a long time ago, hundreds of years ago. Not true. It was the Clampers who did it. It was a practical joke. And the Clampers made around back in the 1800s, about 1860. The Clampers created those brass plates and buried them. And it's a joke. And so that's a true story, by the way.
Don't take things too seriously.
Yeah. So anyhow, the Clampers ended in about 1890. They dissolved their whole group. And then about 1920, somebody like me said, "Hey, I'm going to bring the group back." And so now you see them everywhere. If you go through any of these these gold mining towns, from Placerville. Yeah, and they wear these multicolored vests with pins and stickers on them, and they wear these hats loaded with pins. Those are Clampers.
Okay.
And they're kind of like us.
And we wear the jackets. Want to show us that tattoo?
What tattoo? This tattoo? Wait a minute. Oh boy. Oh, the A.
Yes, A for Artista.
We have a wait a minute if I could do it, a hand sign, A.
Okay.
Our motto is fucking A.
Fucking A.
Fucking A. And our what is that?
Rules
are no rules.
And have fun.
And have fun. Yeah. And then what we do is our job is to uphold honesty amongst our members and treat our women well and protect them. So once you become Artista, you become my sister. You become my little Artista sister. And then you join the Artista Facebook page. You're not on Facebook?
Oh, I'm on Facebook.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah, I'm good at.
Good. Angel runs the Artista.
Okay.
And she is world renowned.
Can't wait to meet her.
Yeah.
Do I somehow get to celebrate you and publish this?
How could you do that?
Put this video out there in the world?
You could.
And share it with you, and then you can put it
You
up
could,
in the
but
club.
still people don't know what Artista is unless you advertise it.
So we're going to put it out there. It's a private club. Rules run by this guy.
I'm trying to keep the spirit alive and keep the old hippies together. It's the lasting remnants of an era gone by, the 60s, you know, and it's not too many people left. We're trying to bring in a younger crowd now, like yourself.
Thank you.
Because
people doing the good stuff.
we're all getting old and dying, you know, and it's just, it's okay.
It is
It's
okay.
okay.
We're living life.
We'll see where
Full
it
of
goes,
passion.
you know. I want this to be a historical moment, or rather a hysterical moment in history.
Historical moment.
Yeah,
Perfect.
in history.
In history.
The story of Artista. I'm sorry Pat can't be here to explain his version, but anyhow,
We got yours.
that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Oh, wait a minute. I got it. It takes a little bit to figure out the A. Yeah, fucking A.
Fucking A and peace. Cheers, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, baby.